David Chenele, the Imani Center for Education and also Policy Africa. In 2016, picked the MPP manifesto. In 2020, sorry, picked the MPP manifesto, which they used to govern from 2017 to 2020, and ranked it as fairly satisfactory. The aggregate mark was 56.77%. They've not done that for 2020. So whatever we are doing is isolating the individual promises that were given. Now, Dave, credit to Kofi Asari and Africa Education Watch. When you go to the 2016 budget, there were 38 educational promises. You know, the one that featured the most certainly will be the free SHS. In 2020, there were 39 of them. I think he made a Facebook post saying 19. I'm counting 39, and this is the list of promises. And in 2024, so far they have counted also 56 promises in education. Now, Dave, for the 2020 promise, let me just, it's 39. How many should I give you? Should I?
The key ones.
Okay, so they said that they will encourage the colleges of education to update their curricula to ensure they produce graduates that will teach the well-equipped and critical thinking population. I'm doing the auditing on spot, so forgive me. They say they will restore the teacher and nursing training allowances. They restore the book and research allowances for teachers. Introduce history of Ghana as a subject, abolish the payment of utility fees by students, and among the others. Now, when you go to the 2024,
but before you do that, do we know for the 2016 one? Do we know how many they were able to fulfill when it comes to education?
For education, they did no more than 60%. I have the data, but it's not offered.
All right.
They did more than they didn't do more than 60%.
Okay.
Yes, not more than 60%. Yes. So the 2024, the MPP, when you read the 260-page document where you find their promise on education, is
are you talking about 2024 or 2020?
2024, sorry, 2024 manifesto, where you find education, where they start from, is page 164. 164. So if you can go through together, so if I'm mixing it, you let me know. Now the MPP and the education, they started by listing some of the achievement that they've done. So they listed achievements in the early years and primary education, where they are talking about reading comprehension, where they've improved from 18% in 2016 to 38% in 2023. Then a secondary education, they talked about bringing on board the free TVET. You know, TVET was initially not part of it. At tertiary education, they are saying that they successfully transitioned teacher training colleges to tertiary institutions, that is university colleges. So under everyone, I'm just giving you some of the things that they say they've done under it. Then they are also saying that they piloted a centralized application processing system to manage university applications and admission, which is expected to be ready for rollout in 2024-2025. I would like to know the said piloting that they've done. Now, when it comes to the promise, the MPP government says that, and let me read for you. The next MPP administration under Bawumia presidency will focus further on the removal of barriers to education at all levels. We believe that education must be about giving every Ghanaian child a just beginning in life, and opportunities for lifelong learning, especially the opportunities arising from the fourth industrial revolution. Our broad policy objectives, therefore, revolve around 5 key pillars. So according to the MPP, in 2024, the educational project, if Ghanaian finds favor, Dr. Tamabami given the mandate, will be on 5 pillars. Pillar 1 will be about early years and primary. Pillar 2, secondary and TVET. Pillar 3, tertiary. Pillar 4, complementary education and lifelong learning. Pillar 5, education, financing, and infrastructure. Now, when you go under Pillar 1, this is what the MPP want to do. They say they will revamp schools in underserved communities and renovate KGs and primary schools to make them conducive, accessible, and inclusive. And they also say that they will upscale play-based learning in all KGs to enhance and promote holistic child development and create a more enjoyable learning experience for learners. So they are saying that KGs all over the country, they will enhance and promote holistic child development and create a more enjoyable learning experience for learners. So that's what they are saying. Third, under the Pillar 1, they will provide special incentives to teachers in KGs and primary schools to attract high-performing teachers. So if you teach in KG, Bawumia is saying that they will give you special incentives. 4, prioritize ongoing professional development for early years and primary teachers. There will be personal development scholarships and all that. We need to know the facts of this. 5, leverage PPP, public-private partnerships, to ensure private sector participation in educational management of low-performing public early years and primary schools. Incentivize the training of teachers of local languages as well as of French, Arabic, and others to enhance their knowledge and skill. Remember, some George has been raising issue about the erosion of the Ghana languages in schools. So he said that they would train local teachers.
When you say George, you're talking about Sam George.
Sam George, yes, the MP for Pram. And also say that scale up establishment of technology hubs in schools. So there will be cages where they have flash screens, TVs with cartoons on it, so that they can learn. Why are you laughing?
No, but these things, when you hear them, they are laudable things. But you ask yourself, when I interviewed, the gentleman from African Education Watch,
Kofi
Asare,
yeah,
we still have people who are studying under trees.
Yeah,
we still have people who are studying in classrooms that are, bad,
dilapidated classrooms.
And then they are lying on their bare stomachs to study and write.
And boy recently did a story like that. Now
so they're telling us about monitors, televisions.
Yeah.
How do I compare?
We have bigger fish to fry. So all these things.
Are those our priorities?
Dave, he said we'll do it. Now, Dave, one of the things for me going through the budget, the under the education
manifesto,
the manifesto. Yeah. Why do I keep saying budget? The manifesto that I really like is this one. Prioritize the special education needs of learners. David, there are many cases who are born where you're before but they have dyslexia, they have other learning, autism and all that. So special needs important. They want new school then pay attention, because you see, I feel that there are many people lacking behind education, not necessarily because they are dumb or daft. No, I think that is because of how we are teaching them, And Dave, I'm saying this based on my experience. Dave, when I was in the university, we did something called Kiss and Mass, where we are going back to my basic school in Akofreda and Akokubwati, where we are trying to teach the kids using infographics and all that. And that year, our BEC results improved, So we need to find this special ways of teaching kids. Now, that is pillar one. Some of the things I've said under pillar one. Now, let's go to pillar two. Pillar two, as I said, is about secondary and TVET education. Under pillar two, they said that they will protect and enhance free secondary education policy.
Before we do pillar two,
okay.
The concerns I raised, they are genuine and they are legitimate.
Yeah.
Because if somebody is going to school, I mean, who would want to go to a school where
there are
laptops, there are monitors,
yeah.
Electricity is working, functioning very well,
yeah.
where you can be taught.
Yeah.
So these are fine promises.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, and putting this manifesto together, what we've learned from Dr. Mahmoud Bami and his team is that they went out there and they engaged with the Ghanaian people.
Yeah.
They sought their concerns and what they would want Bamiya government, for example, to do.
Yeah.
So are they saying that people do not raise concerns about the state in which some of the buildings are in?
So Dave, when you listen to the vice chair of the manifesto committee, Kojo Ponkrumah, said that when they did their own survey, they came to 14 issues that the Ghanaian people raised with Bamiya's team when they went around. The top three being cost of living, roads, and jobs.
And jobs, yes.
And Dave, I'm saying that this is his mandate. The reason why the manifesto is that now we can't change it because we cannot make input, but we can track if Ghanaians find favor with him in 2027, 2026, 2025, 2028, and ask him, Mr. President, you said KGs will have these things.
Yeah.
You went to the KGs.
And even for me, before we even get a 2026, 27, 28, and whatever, we should also find out from him where the source of funding is going to come from.
Very important.
Where the source of funding is going to come from for us to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
Because if you just say it's trial like that, where are you going to get the funding from? What are the timelines?
I don't think it also be fair to say it's trial like that.
No. So hold on. Okay, fine. Maybe it came out wrongly. But what I'm saying, that's what you've churned out. But you are not added to it. Where are you going to get the source of funding from?
Historically, manifestos will not give you the sources of fund.
No, but
I'm coming. I'm coming.
So he has people who can speak to these things.
Exactly. I agree with you. So I'm saying that if someone is expecting the manifesto to capture the financials, no. But what I agree with you on is that post. So, for example, I listened to Kojo Ponkrumah yesterday when you see to Joy saying that the flat tax. We are deviating small, but the flat tax. People were asking what percentage.
Yeah.
But he gave us a clue.
Roughly 20.
No,
roughly 20.
No, he said that it will not be more than Togo. So if you know Togo is say 20%, you can say that maybe
19.
high hours workers I say 18, 19. But I said that for now, they've promised the flat tax. They've not yet given the percentage because they are still looking at the numbers.
And I remember when Winston asked the question and pegged it around 20. He says, "Listen, let me emphasize that we haven't said 20.
Exactly.
Because people go out there, might read
Exactly.
something on some social media platform,
Exactly.
and come and say they said 20.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm
And in
saying?
fact, yesterday, I did a quick detour and I was reading about Estonia. You know, when you read about Estonia, they are doing this e-residency thing where they balloon their GDP because a lot of people are going there, the flat tax regime system, and it's just being more accommodative to individuals.
And for me, I think that's also going to help our businesses stay here and then import their stuff into this country and then clear them from the ports in this country instead of using the Togo port like we know some of them do anyway. So we'll find time
and even some of the cages, you see, they don't even need monitors. Some of them, the color of the paint alone. You see, there's a street in Soweto. One of the reasons I want to go to South Africa. So if you are listening to want to do anything for me, take me to South Africa. It's Soweto. There's this street. Yesterday, Western even shared it that they went to. So someone said, "Oh, these are colored houses. The only thing is paint on houses. The houses some are in Ghana, but it's the paint. So sometimes even the kids, also sometimes schools, the environment alone should be too
I know a lot of children
nice.
who has a lot of problem when they see white paper, reading from white paper. It just confuses
so all
them.
those things.
But when you put them in colors, it sticks
but
easily.
for me, so still on this education bit and the monitors and the computerized, he's a digitalized person. So
yes, in fact, digitalization. So I was trying to do the hit. The word that got the most hits in the manifesto is digital. 196 times. Followed by economy 73 times, and followed by the CD 15 times, the youth 61 times. So that's why for me I was saying that this manifesto, and just opposing the pitch by me update after reading the excerpt of the manifesto, was a Gen Z budget.
I wouldn't want
manifesto
to dwell too much on what I've said already. But listen, you go to some of the places where they don't even have boards. Whether white boards or black boards, they don't even have chalks to write. You understand? We're in an era where
why are we still using chalks?
Good question. We're in an era where some of the teachers will even tell you that the computers that have been given to them are not working. You heard one of the teachers talk about it yesterday, that he has reported it.
Come there. So when we go to the pillar 2, it's our secondary education. But I'm just say something very
important.
Let's
do this. Earlier we said we're going to do health and education. I think for one of time we can do education today.
Okay.
So we don't rush through it because looking at the time, Charlie, it's so crazy. One our listeners also be a part of the
you can serialize it, then next week then these people also.
Oh, the brain yes. So we can do education today.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we'll look at health tomorrow.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Your deputy host Leo is not there. So, for the secondary, which is secondary and TVET, he said one, they'll protect and enhance free secondary education policy with a strong emphasis on TVET and STEM. And Dave, if there's one thing that is applaudable about this government is the STEM initiatives. I come from Assume. The last time I went for the funeral, I went to Abomusu. And Dave, I've seen the STEM building there. It can even qualify to be a university. Beautiful initiative. But under that point, there are 5 points it's raising. One, the sub point, they will continue to fully fund free SHS policy. So meaning that people saying that let's diversify the stream of finance, and he doesn't agree. It means that if you say fully fund, it means it's GOG. Now 2, leverage improved infrastructure towards phasing out double track and harmonize the academic calendar across the secondary schools. So those who cause and tell me that I was complaining about free SHS, but Amir is saying that there's no harmonizing. David, harmonize means that you're talking, David is talking, there's a DJ brings all the voices together to make a symphony, which is a song. Meaning that now the academic calendar is it's like orgasm, based on the whims of somebody.
The past 2 months, you keep using sexual stuff.
It's based on the whim of somebody that someone will rise up and they will tell you are in church. You check a platform, your kids are opening school in 1 week time. Whether I have money for provisions or not, there's no structure.
And the other challenge in there is this: when you go to school, you need to have schoolmates.
Yes.
Have classmates.
Yes.
Because outside school, you build a certain relationship with them, and they can help you in your life. Here are situations where you attend the same school, but you don't even know that I'm in the same school with you.
Yes.
Because of the double track and all
that.
And it's crazy. And again, like Eugene was saying, we've sat in the same studio, so we said it severally, that the number of times they spend at home, vis-a-vis the number of times they spend at school, it doesn't help. You know why?
We can do the math now.
Now left this country.
Yeah.
Because she felt that she was not being educated.
Dave, let's do the math now. So those in second year now, and me, you can scream, you give you the numbers. They vacated in November. Dave, am I lying?
No.
Then they went somewhere in March, spent less than 5 weeks in school because of Salah and what? Christmas break, the Easter festivities. Came home, so the whole year, the whole half of the year, they done 5 weeks in school. Now they are in school and they are doing about 5-6 weeks. Dave, per simple extrapolation, they also vacate somewhere in November. So they are spending more time at home
than in school.
So
I'm happy when Bahamia says that he's going to streamline it.
Exactly.
For it to have a uniform kind of academic calendar for us all to work with. This is a good one.
And Dave, also inherently here is the question about financing. We've secretized the get fund. So why are we getting? Because if you say you face a double track, what ready comes by are 3 things. 1, school infrastructure. You mean that your budget for food must go because there will be more students in school
at a particular time.
Then also dormitories. Why are they sleeping? David, there are schools today. We may pretend on all we want. You and I know. If you don't buy mattress, they won't admit you. If you don't buy best, they won't admit you. It's a fact. A bit in schools.
And don't forget that even in some of the schools, unfortunately, even in the classroom, they are lacking furniture.
Yes.
Some of them, when they are writing exams, they have to sit on plastic chairs, sit on all manner of stuff.
And some of them, unfortunately, are category A schools in the middle of Kumasi. Let's not go there. But now, the third point, which for me is very, very important, I like Pillar 3. Promote school farms to ensure sustainable food supply to the schools. Dave, a champon did it. It worked. When you go to Burkina Faso, which was then the upper voter, under Thomas Sankara, he did the one village, one gorge, and I've always preached this, David. That is what made Burkina Faso the food basket of West Africa. Where Ghana now, David, do you know our tomato budget now? It has moved from $100 million a year to $400 million, according to Emmanuel Dogovi, the editor of the GhanaBusiness.com. We are importing in excess of $400 million of tomatoes from a desert.
Let's do this. So this is Ghana alone.
Yes.
Importing $400 million worth of tomatoes.
Yes.
From Burkina Faso.
Do
you know what $400 million will do for that economy?
Exactly.
And it's not just Ghana who is buying from Burkina Faso.
Yes.
With other countries who will buy from Burkina Faso, plus their exports to the Europeans and
then when it comes to onions and carrots, this studio, we learned that now Ghana imports carrots from Morocco, North Africa, which has weather not favorable as Ghana, which has no more than arable lands compared to Ghana.
Have you seen the sizes of those carrots?
Oh, they are induced,
but the beautiful thing is this: when the Ghanaian cultivates carrots, we're debating a bit. We'll get back online.
We are talking farms.
When the Ghanaian cultivates carrots, give it a day or two. It looks like somebody's willy that's dropped.
Yeah, it becomes soft.
But that from Burkina and Morocco and Co. A week. It's still strong and firm and crunchy.
So we have Ghana Center for what? The CSI, what the meaning? Scientific Council for Scientific
Industrial Research.
Right? Massa check what's here.
CSIR.
We have them. What kind of seedlings are you planting? What kind of topography and soil test are we doing before? So all these things, David, that is why when Brian Champon does his things, then it gets me.
Yeah,
because you see, David, in the Greek sector, Dave, there are ways every African nation, Botswana, right, Kenya. Look at that. See the numbers on which the Kenyan Gen Zs demonstrated. Ghana has worse numbers. So, Dave, if you have a country where the northern region alone has more land size than the Netherlands, which is one of the top leading exporters of food, it tells you clearly that with a little bit of science, with a little bit of planning, irrigation.
Pualugu Dam, for example.
You are talking about Pualugu. We spent $300 million to build dams that are dry. Go to the Upper East region today. Their maize are drying up.
You know, and so this trip we've been told that if care is not taken next year, we'll have some food insecurity.
Yes.
Because of the poor rains that we're having. So if we know this and we have talked about irrigation of mechanized ways of farming. Yeah,
Dave, there's a friend of mine. He does agro center. It's called Black Coffee. They go around the country to buy maize and all that. And Dave, anytime he comes back, the report he gives us is that Charlie, let's stop the sloganeering and go on the grounds and work. Dave, the importance of a school farm is that I've told you. Nana Kwakubuati, we had one. When I went to Benkubu Senior High School, we had one, just a maize farm. It's nice. The school can have at least some supply within the school to show up these things. Their tongues are sitting now, they are real estate, these stores.
Now, you know what again? I mean, so one particular school,
what's wrong with
one
us?
particular school can decide to go into maize farming and garden egg farming or something.
And then butter trade.
The other school will go to pepper and whatever. Like you know when during the school feeding when they have challenges, like when the headmasters will call, hey, do you have rice?
Yeah.
I have rice. Oh, do you have maize? So come bring me rice.
Go give you maize. Butter trade.
But they will work. What they do with that?
If the school farming thing would be introduced and will be helped with the necessary tools, the fertilizers, whatever, we can do it such that it will even help make our food sufficiency and food security better.
And David, also very important is that the youth will imbibe the essence of agriculture because they will eat what they produce.
Yeah.
The students studying agriculture will know the various nitty-gritties of agriculture beyond what is in the book.
It's going to be a hands-on
look
kind
at KSTS and Asim. When I used to stay as for about 3 years ago, Dave, aeration, beautiful. Recent life went to pass the day. They didn't deny stores. Why? What's every space in our country green plant something, then we turn it to stores.
And unfortunately, is even when people are building homes, instead of we live in the greenery, we put cement and tiles and all manner of things, terrazos on it, so there's no green anywhere. School farming, I endorse. If it will be done and done.
So we all agree school farming is solid. Now, Dave, the fourth one for me is a bit check it. It says that deploy solar powered systems for secondary schools to reduce the cost of utilities and to reduce our carbon footprint. But they Presec use their own something to generate so maybe we can start from that.
No, but that's not what a VP is saying if we voted for. He said already he's told us that he's going to improve what do you call that thing? Solar in Ghana by 200 megawatts. Is that what he said?
Yes, 2,000 megawatts.
2,000 megawatts.
Yeah.
So maybe the 2,000 megawatts or the Bibeko secondary schools. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we get Korea and Axim. Now that was under the point one of protecting and enhancing free estate. The point two said that establish career guidance unit to empower our students and for successful futures. Very important, David. Many students are doing courses that they don't like. Many of them are choosing it because their friend chose the course, and we need to guide students when it comes to that.
And I would also quickly want to say something on what do you call it, the planting, the school farm thing.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that made people not be interested in farming is the fact that somebody does a wrong in school, we use weeding as a form of punishment. I wouldn't want when the school farms are established for them to go and say, okay, because we want to punish you, go and farm.
The bad boys go and
farm. That will make the mindset of the student, that teenager, not love farming. We should do it in such a way that they would love to farm. So if it's not going to be that's why I did why I born in the punish show. Let them love to farm. So even when they graduate from the universities, they still will be interested in farming. And it should not just necessarily be crop farming. We can do animal farming as well, rabbits, chickens,
I see more schools in the Volta region do that. If your school is in Ashanti, they do that. They should send us pictures to promote it. It's good. Now, Dave, they say that the point 3 strengthen inter-schools talent and soft skill competition. Dave, this is how we get the Olympics. Oh, Marta Bisa. What's the name? Marta Bisa. What's from Edu Jemfi? Also, yeah. So now, David, school sports is going down. It's because there's no interest in it, right? So we need to build it. Then the fifth is continuous support for teachers to equip learners' education. Then they said continue to invest in secondary school education, upgrading existing SHS with good classrooms, workshops, science laboratories, libraries, ICT laboratory. ICT, and recreational facilities.
See the specifics here. Those are exact specifics I wanted to hear with the KG's bit. That you renovate some of the schools and the classrooms that are deplorable, that are not in good shape. I was hoping to hear something like that.
So you want the specific, for example, the science laboratory, libraries, ICT.
Yes.
So in 4 years, if he's given the mandate, we can track the specificities in here.
The point again is in 4 years, how feasible are all these things? Because you're about health, you're agriculture.
Yeah, but I think that one sector we should even do, we can do 3 days, the economy and digitalization.
You know,
it's a lot.
Where's the resource going to come from?
Now, Dave, they said that, listen, they said they will provide textbooks and workbooks. My top workbook now saying about me, and digital infrastructure to support modern learning. Now, Dave, look like this one. And a second, let me just give you one more and a second. They said that they will modernize secondary school infrastructure, including the 28 special schools to meet secondary education standard. You know, David, there are special schools often we neglect them. It's just like the lesser known sports when it comes to the general sport. We talk about football. He's saying that they will make sure they modernize the infrastructure in these 28 special schools.
Somebody who is visually
the proposed school of the blind.
We should change the name of that school. We say we shouldn't say blind anymore. We should say visually impaired. So it should not be a corpus school of the blind.
Yeah.
It should be a corpus school of visually impaired or something.
Okay.
You understand? We need to change it.
Maybe they've changed. Maybe I'm not updated.
But you know that bit about textbooks.
Yeah.
It's not in the same country not long ago. A few months.
They say teachers don't need it because they're giving them other ways to teach. That's what they say.
But textbooks, when we had this Naka here,
Yeah.
textbooks have delayed.
Yeah.
Schools are complaining. So when you say you're going to make textbooks available, how sure are we on this? Because we've had challenges with the textbooks.
The reality is that today the workbooks that government is supposed to provide.
There's a difference between the workbooks for
and the
teachers
I know.
and the textbooks.
No, I know. I'm saying that the workbooks. Government provides the workbooks. Yes. Or normally they provide. Now guardians and parents are bearing that call. The textbooks. Now the school, the subject teachers themselves develop the books 100 CDs, 80, 20 CDs and sell because it's not there. And
it's
if
not available, yeah.
And if the reality is that because
we
it's
are
not
buying
there,
past questions.
you cannot allow your kid to go to school without these things. So you must buy them.
Yeah.
Now, Dave, one of the things that for me I also think is coming to bear is that when you go to the pillar 3, it talks about higher education. I think that, Dave, we are neglecting a lot of things in higher education. And but I must say something that they realign the structure and timing of licensure exams and the academic calendar of university colleges. You know, Mahama is saying that there will be an abrogation of that. I don't know.
So let's wait for the manifesto.
No, but that's what I've heard. No,
I'm not disputing it.
Okay.
Today we're focusing attention on the manifesto.
On the MPP. Okay.
Let's see what their manifesto will say, and they will do the
comparative analysis.
Yes.
Now, what I was saying is that there's been talk about that. If a teacher has passed exams, why are you writing licensing exams again? Then there's the other argument that every professional, engineers, whatever, write some form of examination.
Yeah.
So Bamia in MPP promise is not saying that they will cancel it. No. He's saying that they will realign the structure and timing.
So like you're saying, others say we should not go there. It's going to be similar to what John Mama is preaching now, isn't it?
It's not similar. This is
Mama,
different.
What John Mama says, when they're done with their course, they write the final exam,
and they're okay.
And that's it.
Yes, so far that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I've also read actually.
But Bamia is saying that he will not take it off. He will rather realign the structure and the timing. So they are different.
So they still will write the licensure exam?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So let me just read so that people don't get, because it's a big issue. I will realign the structure and timing of licensure exam and the academic calendar of universities by integrating the licensure exams as part of the teacher training program with teachers qualifying with a qualified teacher status. So they'll still write an exam.
Okay. Our time is running out fast.
Then,
it's not 12 minutes past 8. You see why I say we should hold on to the health.
Okay, then let me wrap up. Let me wrap up on the tertiary. Tertiary.
Fine.
So they say that they work towards eradicating infrastructure and equipment deficiency in tertiary institutions, so that if you're assigned to the physics students, you've never seen labs before, they'll give you labs. They say that implementing full. They say that they've done the piloting, implementing full the centralized application and processing system, where if you want to apply to 4 universities, you don't need to buy forms for the respective. There will be one system online where you do everything. And they will develop and implement a national credit and qualification framework to mainstream Ghanaian qualifications by body like GTech and all that. Now under the pillar 4, so there's few things under the pillar 4, financing. They said that on financing, they will increase the stock of student accommodation at public universities and other tertiary institutions to address the housing deficit on our campuses and make them affordable. So they'll bring hostels and they'll make them affordable. Then they will roll what they call the SIMS, School Infrastructure Information System, for all existing school infrastructure from kindergarten to tertiary using, Dave, there's the issue, using existing database to expand on the limited system Get Fund currently operate.
Okay. So
the financing is giving us a clue, maybe from Get Fund. On student financing and scholarships. Lastly, student financing is currently scattered across multiple agencies, with the primary one being the Student Loan Trust Fund, Scholarship Secretariat, and the Get Fund Self-Run Scholarship Administration Scheme. Okay. Others include the GMPC Scholarship. To address some of the challenges in the administration of these programs, we have already removed the guarantor policy under the Student Loan Trust Fund, doubling the number of recipients from 30,000 on the average per year before its introduction to 58,000 currently. We have kept our promise and massa. So he said that under the government, what they will do that they will integrate. They will integrate all the scholarship database and make it one.
I know you would want to go on and on, but time is not that friendly now. Tomorrow we'll talk about health. But again, there are a few other pointers.